In this video, I'm going to show you how I got my old sneakers from looking like this to this. I bought a leather paint basics kit and decided to try painting on my shoes for the first time. It ended up being a really fun project and my shoes got an awesome glow up. I'll walk you through the full process and share the do's and don'ts I learned along the way, and stick around till the end to see my finished custom painting. If you're starting with an old pair like mine, the first thing you'll want to do is remove the laces and give them a good clean. I used some dish soap and an old toothbrush. It helped a bit, although the dark marks on the soles didn't really come off, no matter how much I scrubbed. But that's okay, I'll show you how I made these grubby soles look brand new again later in the video. Once the shoes are dry, you're ready for the next step. I know it's tempting to want to paint on your shoes straight away, but it's important to prep the leather first. This helps the paint stick properly and reduces the chances of it cracking or peeling over time. I used a leather preparer and applied it with a cotton pad. You should go over the leather surface around 2 to 3 times. After that, feel the material and see if it's a bit rough, which is a good sign that it's time to start painting. If you don't have a leather preparer, you can use acetone or nail polish remover, but just be careful since some products can be too harsh and damage the leather. This step is optional, but I decided to mask off certain areas to help keep things clean, especially since this was my first time painting shoes. I used my nails to press the tape into the edges and then used a cutter along the lines. Use an X-Acto knife or smaller cutter if you have one, not a big chunky one like me. It'll make things easier, especially around small details like the lace holes. This part's also optional, but since I wanted to paint the shoe soles, I applied a couple of thin layers of clear gesso. Gesso works as a primer and helps paint stick better, especially on less absorbent surfaces like rubber. Once the gesso is dry, it's finally time to start painting. For the soles, I used regular white acrylic paint instead of the one from the paint kit, just to save the leather-specific paint for the upper parts. Painting this part was really satisfying. The shoes already started to look cleaner and newer. Next, I mixed the leather paint colors to get the shade of green I wanted, and began applying thin coats. Keep in mind that the paint will dry a little darker than it looks when wet, so it's a good idea to test your colors first. You'll want to use around 3 to 4 thin coats of paint, with about 15 to 30 minutes drying time between each layer. For the design, I decided to paint red camellia flowers and leaves. I started by sketching the outlines, then filled them in gradually with layers of color. If you want to see how your design might look before painting, you can find free mock-up templates for customizing shoes online. I've put the link for one of these websites in the description. You will need Procreate or Photoshop to use this resource. There are layers for each section of the shoes, which you can fill in with colors of your choice. This can help give a better visual for how your final custom will look. Once the painting was done, I applied 2 thin coats of matte acrylic finisher. I let the first coat dry before adding the second. Now here is where I messed up. I applied a matte acrylic finisher with the masking tape still on. That was a mistake. When I removed the tape after, some of the paint peeled off with it. Remove the tape once the paint is dry to the touch, usually after about an hour, but before it dries completely. Removing it while slightly wet helps prevent the paint from peeling off with the tape. But it's okay, I still managed to patch up the spots where the paint had peeled off, and it's not really noticeable unless you look really closely. And here are my first pair of custom painted shoes. I'm really happy with how they turned out, and it was a great way to give my old shoes a new life. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please like this video and subscribe for more art and DIY content.